YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and NFL fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 17 and the 2017 and 2018 NFL wildcard predictions. Well, we're down to at least, God Almighty, to at least 24 teams left, I believe, to 32 or something like that. And I can't do the math right now. So now we're in the playoffs. That's all that matters. You know what? NFL playoffs is finally here. Now we know who's in, and now we know who's out. Like Baltimore Ravens, for instance, who had to be kicking themselves in the foot to shockingly lose to Cincinnati, who came back and beat them. Cincinnati came back and beat them about that, and kicked the Ravens out of the playoffs. And now, because in Buffalo won, they're in the playoffs. Well, what do you know? And because of that, the Bills fans were donating thousands and thousands of dollars to Andy Dalton's donation fund, which was pretty cool of him. So, yeah. So that's pretty nice of the Bills fans. Even though I'm a Patriots fan, that's still pretty damn cool. But, yeah, it is what it is on that. But now we know who's in, who's out. So, now we're into the playoffs. So, anyways, let's get rolling to the wild card race. Now we know who has home field advantage with the first, second round buys. Everything else, the playoffs is set and go from there. So hey, let's get rolling on this one. All right, we're gonna kick things off with the Chiefs and the Titans starting today's game. So hey, well, I'll say this: the Chiefs, they're lucky to be in. They've been struggling as of late, though. They've been catching fire the last 3 games. What they needed to do, the Chiefs are who the Chiefs are now. And et cetera, et cetera. But Tennessee, they're probably one of the worst teams in the playoffs right now, I could say. But, you know, it is what it is on that. But, hey, who am I to judge on that? But anyways, the reason being because of the Chiefs are in, because of their offensive Alex Smith, who's been okay. He's been decent. But they did it. They went to the playoffs without Eric Berry, though, which is kind of, I don't know how they can do that without Eric Berry. So that was pretty amazing what they did on that. That being said, though, the Chiefs in there, I mean, there's a lot of things about what's going on with the Titans organization. They're thinking about firing their head coach if they don't win the playoff game today, or et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not chit-chatting about that one. But, you know, I'm going to say, if Tennessee wins, they should give them another shot. You know, that's all I'm saying. I feel like this is the same case for Steve Mariucci when he was the head coach of the 49ers. But that's just me. But anyways, let's get to the game right here. This is going to be a tight game, though. So I think it's going to be kind of a back-and-forth game up until the fourth quarter, I believe. But I could say this. I think the Chiefs have the advantage in this one. It's at home. Tough to play at Arrowhead. Well, maybe in the playoffs, because they have a lot of problems in the playoffs at home. But anyways, I'm going to say the Chiefs over the Titans in this one. On the line, the Chiefs are favored in this game. I'm going to take the Chiefs plus I'm going to take the Chiefs minus 8.5. Final score, Chiefs 30, the Titans 30. Titans 20. So 30-20, Kansas City Chiefs. Another one on today's game, though, the Falcons and the Rams. So, hey, the Rams haven't been in the playoffs since 2004. The Falcons are trying to redeem themselves after last year in the playoffs, after what my Patriots did to them in the Super Bowl. A lot of things are going on. The Falcons are finally clicking in when they're finally clicking in. So, good for them. They're in the playoffs. And the Rams are one of the surprise teams right now. And Jared Goff having a great year. And having an excellent year in his sophomore year. So, that was pretty good. His rookie year last year wasn't that great. But now he had a good year with the Rams. So, that's pretty intense on that. You know, everything's starting to roll with the Rams, especially on defense right now. But this is the first time the Rams are hosting a playoff game in Los Angeles since God knows when, since the 80s, I believe. So this is kind of ironic, this historic moment for the Rams in this one. But I gotta say this, I like the Falcons in an upset because they have playoff experience. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Rams win. But I'm gonna take the Falcons over the Rams. On the line, the Rams are 6.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the Falcons plus 6.5. And on the final score in this one, Falcons 31, Rams 24. And on to the Sunday's games. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Both teams break their longest droughts. Bills 17 years, I believe. No, 18 years, something like that. And of course, though, they got the Jaguars haven't been there since 2007. So, both teams got in there by defensively, and Sean McCoy from the Bills may not play. That's going to be a big problem for the Bills right now. But the Bills should be happy in the playoffs. You know, that is what it is with that. So they're probably happy just to be there, and they just want to relax, and they're just going to have fun. But I think the Jaguars are going to take advantage of this one. Defensively, that Jacksonville Jaguars, a two-headed monster, they're going to be all over that defense in the playoffs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that defense can go right deep in the playoffs. I'm going to say that one right now. But, that being said, though, I like the Jaguars over the Bills on this one. And on the line, correct me on this one, though. Last time the Jaguars hosted a playoff game, I believe it was 1999. So that'd be a really interesting fact. The Bills haven't been in the playoffs since 1999. Jaguars never hosted a playoff game since 1999. Which is kind of ironic. But, and then but anyways, on the line, though, the Jaguars are 8.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the Jaguars minus 8.5. And the final score in this one, I believe it would be Jacksonville 23, Bills 13. So, pretty interesting taste on that, which I never knew about that. But anyways, now the biggest game in the wild card game, my favorite game, I think I'm going to look forward to seeing, Saints and Panthers. It's going to be an excellent ball game on this one. It's going to be a tight one. It might go back and forth in the fourth quarter, but until then, maybe someone in the fourth quarter might do that game-winning key touchdown, which I think this is going to be a great game to watch. The Saints get in the playoffs. They're finally in. They're in the first time, I believe, since the Saints haven't been in the playoffs since Bountygate. So someone correct me on that one. I think it was since Bountygate. So it was pretty interesting task on this one. So, anyways, that being said, though, this is going to be a big task for the Panthers right now. The Panthers are trying to redeem themselves after Super Bowl 50. This is really intense on that. Cam Newton's trying to get back on track. They have been in a slump since last year. So, now they get to redeem themselves. They're back in the playoffs. So, this is going to be really good to taste. But they're facing Drew Brees and the Saints at home. There's going to be a very interesting task on that one. So, I think in this case, though, I like the Saints over the Panthers on this one. So, there you go. So, now you know what my playoff prediction might happen this week. It's going to be the Saints going to Minnesota. And I like the Falcons going, I believe it's the Falcons, going to, Falcons going to Philadelphia, which I think that's how it's going to go. Something like that. And the Jaguars going to Pittsburgh. And the Chiefs coming back to going home to face the New England Patriots. My New England Patriots in that. So that's my official take on that. And then on the line down, the Saints are 6.5 point favorites in this game. I'm definitely going to take that because it's at home. You can trust Drew Brees at home. I like the Saints over the Panthers. Saints minus 13. And the final score in this one, the Saints 28, the Panthers 17. So there you go. Little recap. Chiefs over the Titans. Chiefs minus 8.5. Final score 30-20. Falcons over the Rams. Falcons plus 6.5. And Falcons 31-24. Jaguars over the Bills. Jaguars minus 8.5. And the final score 23-13. Saints over the Panthers. Saints minus 6.5. And the final score Saints 28. Panthers 17. That'll wrap up my wildcard predictions. And big shout out to Jarrett Champion, which I never believe I shot him out this year. So I apologize, Jarrett. So hey, definitely check him out. Check out all the NFL YouTube prognosticators down below. And down there too. Hey, we're going to have so much fun in the wildcard. By the time this is all said and done, there'll be 4 teams left in the pool. There'll be 8 teams left in the pool. So that's what, excuse me. I'm not really good with my math skills right now lately. But anyways, that'll wrap up my wildcard predictions. Oh, by the way, I went 10-6 straight up. Unfortunately, I went 6-10 against the spread, the complete opposite. But 168 and 88 straight up, and 125 and 123 against the spread all year. So, hey, I did pretty good. I went barely above 500. I hope I do better this year, next year against the spread. So yeah, so pretty cool on that. And so I almost forgot that, so I didn't want to leave that one out. So, anyways, that will wrap up my wildcard predictions. I'll see you all in the division round. Peace.